Because, you know, Donald Trump be like, make America great again. I just want to know what time period we talking about when it comes to make America great again, nigga. Especially when you got niggas fighting on the White House front lawn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We talking about like the 99s and the early 2000s great.
Pretty
you
cool.
know what I'm saying? We talking about the roaring 20s, because, you know, we was cool in the roaring 20s.
Of course, right?
Or we talking about like the straight, like, you know, building the White House era, you know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be some wild shit on the front lawn, dog. What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Brick Brothers. You got your boy Joaquin, new man, Buckley. I got my brother
Edric Dillard.
You know what I'm saying? So welcome back to another episode. Make sure if you're new to our channel, man, that y'all like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications whenever we lock in, you know? But, man, what we got going on today, bro?
All right, the UFC was in Nashville last night. Derek Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira.
Okay.
I didn't watch the entire card. I watched the main card. I guess this.
Wasn't much to watch on that one, boy. That was quick.
Everybody was getting finished. I did see that. I was keeping up with the notifications.
Mm-hmm.
But the main event, Derek Lewis knocks out Taliesin Teixeira in, 35 seconds?
Man, good money.
So not much to break down in this particular fight, but what are your thoughts, your views?
I don't know, bro. Derek Lewis is different. You know what I'm saying? Literally just different. But, you know, going into that fight, right, as soon as they, I'm talking about connect, you know, Teixeira landed a decent little punch on Derek Lewis, had my man on wobbly leg.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, Derek Lewis, like, when he get hurt, you can just tell, you know what I'm saying? And his legs just end up, some people get buckled, but my nigga's legs just get straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his legs be straight, like, just kicked out like this. And, you know me, my man just be, like, on some different stuff. But it's just, at the end of the day, my man got that crazy power. So for Teixeira or whatever, thinking he got, you know, a good little punch off, right? You know, he threw, missed. Shoot, Derek Lewis threw, like, 3 punches, right? They all missed. But then one just land, boom, left hook. Dropped my man to the floor. And yet again, bro, it's just, like, as awkward as Derek Lewis is, that power, bro, you know what I'm saying? That he can land from any position. It don't matter where he at. I'm talking about this nigga leg on the top of this nigga neck. He's still landing good punches. Like, it's crazy, right? To still hurt this man. But, you know, you seen my boy, he was trying to get up. He used the cage a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Trying to climb up like Spider-Man.
Right.
But I don't care what nobody say. That I don't think him, you know, going up and walking up against the cage is why Jason Herzog stopped the fight. He was trying to keep that man from seeing the king. You know, so as much as a lot of people say it's, you know, premature, you know, dude was hurt and dude didn't know where he was at because he was doing something like that. And, you know, Jason Herzog came in and stepped in and stopped the fight. Now that's 16 knockouts for my man Derek Lewis, just like that.
So that was pretty much a perfect analysis of what happened. I was going to ask you, was it an early stoppage? I think it was, but does it matter? Not really. I think the same thing probably would have happened. Number 2, the fight made no sense. Let's be honest. Taliesin Teixeira had no business being in the main event. It's no disrespect to him. I think he had fought 1 time previously in the UFC, something like that.
Twice at least.
Okay, 2 times. But either way, it's not a fight that made a lot of sense. I think the UFC is at a place where the heavyweight division doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of things to be sorted out. But with Derek Lewis coming off of 2 back-to-back knockouts, now you have something that makes sense. He never fought Tom Aspinall. So I guess my question is that something that you want to see?
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, with Derek Lewis, you know, being such a heavy hitter, you know, he definitely has put in his claim. Oh, bro, hold on, dog. Man, get the bricks right, nigga. That's crazy. Get the bricks.
You know,
right.
I'm not.
That's
I'm not
the
the greatest decorator. You know, it is what it is.
I see your ass was moving quick. You hear me? But no, like just like these bricks. You know what I'm saying? Derek Lewis definitely got them heavy hands. So that actually would be a fun fight, you know, to watch. So yeah, I'd be interested in it. Why not? You know, and that's the thing. How many times did Derek Lewis really fought for the belt? I know he fought DC.
One time. One time with Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, I know he lost that one.
He fought Francis, but Francis wasn't champion yet.
True. But he beat Francis though, right?
He did beat Francis.
You know, debatable or like?
No, I mean it was.
I went to sleep, so I couldn't remember.
I mean, none to judge.
Yeah,
flip a coin.
Flip a coin type shit.
Yeah.
So no, fuck it. You know what I mean? My man's 40 years old. He's been active, right? Regardless of losses, and you know, even with his wins being so spectacular, you know, he's been active. So why not give my man a shot? Why not let him fight for a title? You know what I'm saying? So shoot, it might be at the White House, man. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? You seen him talking to Donald Trump on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Talking about like, hey, bro, if I'm on that list, bro, go ahead and erase my name out of that thing, right? Which, you know, and I don't care what nobody say. I think that is a crazy thing if it does happen. Like the UFC going to the White House and allowing guys to fight in the front lawn of the White House. It's crazy. No, you can look how all you want to. But my thing is, the only thing that I got to say about that, because, Donald Trump be like, make America great again. I just want to know what time period we talking about when it comes to make America great again, nigga. Especially when you got niggas fighting on the White House front lawn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talking about like the 99s and the early 2000s great.
Pretty
cool. You know
cool.
what I'm saying? We talking about the roaring 20s because, we was cool in the roaring 20s.
Of course, right?
Or we talking about like the straight, like, building the White House area, you know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna be some wild shit on the front lawn, dog. And then, like you said, about with Derek Lewis, John Jones, you know what I mean? You gonna have Donald Trump, you gonna have Dana having a conversation, and two dudes ain't gonna be fighting like they should. They gonna be in that bitch, keep fighting, niggas. No, girl, nobody say. But regardless, I think it's a great opportunity for athletes to be able to do something like that because it'll never be done again.
You're right.
It'll be a historic.
It never be done again, and it's never finna happen. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not buying it.
You think it's cap from everybody? I mean, I'm talking about Donald saying this happened, Dana saying this happened. You got a lot of big names that saying this.
If it happens, it happens. I've been wrong before. I'm putting all my money on this shit not happening at the White House. But I have a question.
What's up?
What do you think is better, Derek Lewis's knockouts or his post-fight interviews?
I love his knockouts. Got to get his knockouts. But his post-fight interviews, I feel like should come with a warning, right?
Parental advisory?
100%, bro. Like, because you just don't know what to expect. Like, at first, it was, the strong language, you know what I mean? My man just saying whatever, right? My balls is hot. It's cool. But I feel like my man just have been stretching it and pulling because, like, now my man just out here literally showing his ass. Like,
100%.
Like, how far are we going to go with this? And then my man out there, and now, hold on. Wife bad as a mug, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he talking about, I'm finna ground and pound this right now. And I feel like this is, because we ain't never seen his wife in there before. But I'm just saying that I'm just going off of what he been doing and leveling up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to have a little, situation where we on X and XX, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the UFC.
I feel like Derek Lewis has a pass like nobody else. Everybody just laugh when he do it. I feel like anybody else show their ass to the crowd, talk about fucking their wife, like, I feel like they like, cut. Like, no, Derek, keep going, buddy.
And he gonna give it to him. If they keep asking to keep pumping, I mean, he gonna go further and further. So yeah, that's all I ask for. Like, once Derek Lewis do what he do and he knocks somebody out, just get that warning. You know what I'm saying? Clip. So you have the choice on what you finna see next. You know what I'm saying? Because we just can't guess it with Derek Lewis, man. Black Beast though. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Anyway, in the co-main event, you had Gabriel Bonfim won a controversial split decision over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Man, bullshit.
How did you score the fight? That's my question.
I think Bonfim got it done, but barely though, But it just shows what Wonderboy, still capable of doing. Is a major threat still on the feet for a lot of these guys. But
I mean, he was up 2 rounds to 0 against you, right?
Yeah, but we got him up out of there, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, I know. But either way, though, even if it ain't the truth, whatever, nigga, we still got him up out of there, right? But it still shows the level of Wonderboy and his big threats on the feet. But Bonfim, he decent with a certain thing, but he definitely got exposed that night with a lot of different things, especially being on the feet. And I really feel like, he really kind of just survived that, that win out, right? Really kind of just, put himself in a position where, hey, I'm just going to drag him. I'm just going to hold him, right? And just kind of waste this clock out, until my hand can get raised. So that's why I say bullshit on that fight. But, I think he still won, though. But I would give the damage to, Wonderboy, because you remember he rocked his ass in that second round like crazy. He even split his shin open. Like, wow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy check. And then he started kicking at the
yeah, I saw that. Yeah. But barely, though. Like, he kicked it like one time, But even then, though, like, he wasn't trying to do anything to really kind of hurt Wonderboy. Because he a finisher, though.
Of course.
No,
Bonfim is
a finisher, It might not be on the feet, but, once you get to the ground, them submissions are definitely a big threat. Which he did have a tight submission in the first round that had Wonderboy. But, I'm seeing that Wonderboy was working on that, even with the submission threats, working on his defense. But Bonfim, I was expecting because he was taking him down the whole time. I didn't see much more activity when it comes to the threats of the submissions after that. But Go ahead.
No, Wonderboy just did a really good job of working positions, always trying to find a wizard, C-cup in the elbow, getting height. A couple times Bonfim would take the back and he'd get high and Wonderboy kind of just shake him off. I had it 2-1 Wonderboy. I don't think it's a robbery. I think Wonderboy is just such a lovable guy that people want to see him win. But I had him winning 2-1. I thought just with the damage and the grappling was kind of irrelevant in the third round. Bonfim was nearly finished. I don't know. And I had Wonderboy winning the first round, I believe, too, if I remember correctly. But with that being said, what do you think's next for both of them? You know,
for Wonderboy, I mean, that's up to Wonderboy. I know he definitely is getting up there in age. We all been talking about that. But, bro, like, for me, right, if I'm Wonderboy, just give me something I can just,
Of course.
Send somebody to the king, bro. Like, just give me something nice, right? And I don't even think it had to be something right now. If that's what Wonderboy want, then that's what he want. But if I'm him, bro, I just want something fun, bro.
Of course.
I want a fight that's going to, yet again, right, show my ability, show my strength, right? And somebody that's not scared to run that type of fight with me, right? So that's what I say with Wonderboy, because we don't know how many fights we really got left. I think he said he got like 2-3 left on his contract. But, like, truthfully, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he going to ride it all the way out through that contract or like say shit, hang it up if he loses another one, right? So my thing is try to find a fun fight, fun matchup, man, that, really put on the show. Both him.
What we got for him?
I don't know about who. I can't tell you who, but I'm glad he in the rankings though. I'm glad on my mama I am. So that's all I'm gonna say to that one, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad he in the rankings.
I agree. Yeah. I like what you said there.
Yeah.
In the next fight, we had Steve Garcia defeating Calvin Kattar by unanimous decision.
Man.
Did that surprise you? That fight was a little different, right?
Yeah, man, it did surprise me.
Garcia's been on a tear. I think they said he had 6 finishes in a row or something like that, or that would have been number 6. But
he low key be getting slept on, but he just put himself on.
Yeah, I just thought, Calvin Kattar never really had moments in that fight. Garcia just took his charge right away. I thought Calvin Kattar had, has really good hand speed and crisp technical boxing, and he had moments where he could have flourished, but Steve Garcia just kind of took away all of his, I won't say confidence, but took away his rhythm early.
Yeah,
he never allowed him to get started. It seemed like Calvin Kattar was kind of playing like, proverbial like double dutch, like when to jump in, and he never really found that moment, and then he ended up getting dropped. And but Garcia, he impressed me.
Yeah,
he has an awkward style, in my opinion. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but he was getting.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it's still nice though.
No, he's talented.
Hands still nice, jabs nice. I mean, he remind me of a Diaz type. You know what I mean? And especially because he got good conditioning too. It didn't seem like he
a
tired.
beast.
It didn't seem like he slowed down. It seemed like the volume went up after every fight. Man, I'm intrigued to see how far he takes it. To be honest with you, bro. Like you said, it's a 6-fight winning streak right now. And he in a very dangerous weight class as well. So. The dude that he fought ain't no scrub either, so it's gonna be fun to see, how far he could take it.
For sure. Then we had Morgan Charriere. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, dude from France.
Morgan Charriere, he knocked out Nate Landwehr. That was a banger while it lasted.
Yeah, I heard they got fight of the night.
Fast-paced fight. Shout out to them. Fast-paced fight. I mean, on a card where everybody was kind of getting finished and spun, but it was a good fight until Charriere kind of was leading the dance, and Landwehr, his slogan basically whoop my ass and find out or whatever you say, and he started getting activated. He started doing a good job coming back and made it pretty competitive. I think it was probably 1-1 going into that third. I'm not sure what the scorecards were, and then Charriere turned it up and ended up knocking out Landwehr.
I mean, when you put it all on the line like that, I mean, that's what the cost of the game. Because Nate was in there trying to bang and get Buddy up out of there too. But when you do that, you leave yourself open. But it's cool to see the UFC being able to bless guys. You know what I mean? That still whatever get sent to the king. You know what I mean? But look, the reason why I got sent to the king is because I put on a performance like that, right? So it's cool to be able to see that dynamic and still see the UFC kind of reward guys in that manner.
That's what's up. No, for sure. I was just surprised because Landwehr has that special ability, in my opinion, to get people to want to brawl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like Charriere has very crisp striking, but he was over swinging and eventually and really just trying to knock him out. And then I think in that third round he got found some poise and just started, just trying
Picking
to
a
connect.
shot.
Yeah, picking the shots a little cleaner. But it was a great fight. Then the next 2 fights, we have Vitor Petrino. He submitted Austin Lane.
I missed that one.
In round 1.
Yeah.
And then
who them dudes though? Who them dudes?
Austin Lane, I think he's a Contender Series guy.
Okay.
Don't hold me on that one.
Okay.
But he's fought in the UFC a few times. He's a good athlete. I think he's a former football player.
Okay.
And Vitor Petrino, I think he was fighting at light heavyweight, and then moved up to heavyweight. And he looked pretty good. So I think that's good. Maybe Petrino can kind of push himself as a contender in the heavyweight division. It's not a lot of
ain't a lot of stock in there, man.
Right.
Ain't a lot of names right now. So
Right.
you definitely make some moves.
You have a current champion who's beaten a lot of the guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be a real good grappler with the submission. And, at heavyweight, it's just not that many grapplers. You got Blades, you got Gelatin Almeida. It's not too many of them, so you can kind of make your name there. And then this guy, Tukkos. Sorry, I butchered his name.
That's all good, bro. I'm not even going to try, man.
He got a submission.
Y'all know how I am, bro. I'm going to make up some shit, nigga. In fact, we just going to start getting these dudes nicknames, bro. That's it, bro.
He submitted Justin Junior Taffa, excuse me. In the
Little Tough.
But no, that was pretty much for that one. Is there any other fights that you want to talk about in that Derek Lewis card?
Man, yeah. So I wasn't able to watch the whole card like I really wanted to, but definitely popped in on a couple fights that I find interesting. Right, you got some new welterweight fighters, on the roster that made their debut. Where they fight at again?
What, it was Nashville, right?
Nashville, okay. That made their debut in Nashville. One was Shitty Joaquin.
Okay.
I think I said his name right this time. I said it. But Jake Matthews got him up out of there.
Oh, I missed that fight. Yeah, that's when I wanted to watch
I thought that was
it.
going to be a straight war. No, Jake Matthews I'm going to get Buddy up out of there. But it's just one thing I want guys to realize, even when they move down, you know what I'm saying, you might not have to deal with like the strength, difference or the size difference, but you is going to have to deal with the skill difference, And Jake Matthews, man, I ain't going to lie, had a clean little foot sweep, took the back, grabbed Buddy neck, and shoot, it was a wrap literally within 1 minute,
Damn.
But it is what it is. Like, Shitty is still, damn, I think I fucked that all the way up. Yeah. Bang, bang. It's still a good fighter, you know what I mean? But that's what kind of got exposed to him is the skill level.
He's a great striker.
Yeah, great striker.
The grappling's still coming together.
It's going to have to.
Yeah.
Definitely at the welterweight division. But then you already know, my guy, CC.
Chris Curtis.
Yeah, man. They made his way to the welterweight division, so he made that cut. I'm happy for him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been even telling him that. I'm like, bro, why you fighting that fucking 185? You big ass dude. And all they gonna do is try to run and, you know what I'm saying, and use their length.
How'd you see that fight?
It was cool. It
was close. It
was close. Max Griffin, he was fighting scary, though. I ain't gonna lie. Max Griffin was fighting scary as hell. But, he didn't want to get sent to the king. I get that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I definitely been there myself. We got revived, you know what I'm saying, with them Dragon Balls. They sent me back like Goku. But at the end of the day, though, I feel like with that being said, with Max Griffin and Chris Curtis, they put on a good, competitive fight between one another. I feel as if with Chris Curtis, there's going to be a lot of things that he's going to have to still work on when it comes to, the 170 division, when it comes to activity.
Picking it up, yeah. Sometimes guys are blessed in the sense that they have that power and they know they can find that perfect shot, but there's a difference between picking your shot and then waiting for your shot. I think sometimes Chris Curtis waits for the shot, and then you don't get it, Yeah.
And I could, give a couple little tips here and there, you know what I'm saying? But more likely, it could be a possibility we see CC again. But not all love, all respect, all profession. But I always want to get my get backs.
Of course, and I got I got some things in the works for that. If that does happen.
But no, shout out to him. But glad he got the welterweight win, and he definitely gonna be making his way up the division.
But yeah, I think that wraps up that one pretty good. You want to talk about your future trip to?
Oh yeah, man, we're going to Seattle, bro. So the reason why we're going out to Seattle or Tacoma, actually, I'm sorry, Tacoma. We are going to be refereeing in the Steet Beefs. Right, so they reached out to me, man, and I was like, man, why not? Because right now, a lot of people will ask me, like, Buck, when you fighting again and stuff like that, but nigga, I'm going to chill and have a good time for right now, right? Because I feel like for the longest time, I've been so locked in and focused on, obviously, the fight career, obviously trying to make my way up to the belt. But, nigga, we got time to wait now, you know what I mean? Because just how the the division is and how it's moving, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to take some time before anybody even gets to, you know what I'm saying, have the opportunity to fight for that belt. So in the meantime, bro, we just going to be doing what we want to do, and we just going to be training and developing the skills and stuff like that. But yet again, man, developing on this content, bro. So I think it's a great opportunity, man, for me to just network and be out there with Steet Beefs, man, and see a couple of these young guys, you know, get at it, go to war, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be on my Herb Dean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to let them fight, you know what I'm saying? They going to be like, stop the fight. I'm like, he good, he all right, he going to make it, you know, but it's going to be a good time, man, out there in Tacoma. I can't wait.
You know, I'm not going to lie. Steet Beefs is probably my favorite organization to watch that's not the UFC. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like, I don't know if you could actually watch it, but just scrolling on my phone, Steet Beefs, not bad, man.
Great content, great personalities too. I would have to say,
100%.
great personality. But don't get it twisted. These some real fighters too. Regardless of what people think about technique and what people think about form and disciplines, on like, oh well, they're not boxers, they're not wrestlers. Nigga, them fighters, bro. Like them
more real fighters.
Real fighters, because these are the type of dudes that'll meet you in the street and be like, let's go, right? And that's what I love about Steet Beefs. And you know, everything has this evolution, everything has this, you know, process. But you know, don't get it twisted. You didn't have street fighters make their way to the UFC, like Mars Vidal. You know what I mean? Obviously, man, RIP to himself, but you know, Kimbo Slice. And that's one thing I'm excited to see. One day, Steet Beefs has their first guy that make it to the UFC. Dude, it's gonna happen.
Of course,
it's gonna happen.
No, definitely.
Whoever it is, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But yet again, just being able to see that, right, and seeing guys being able to potentially be able to have their life change, right, and obviously you see one of them going viral, right, and making things happen is Death Sentence, right, and like he training with Mighty Mouse, right, he actually he's gonna be out there fighting, you know, and I might be having the blessing, you know, and the honor to be refereeing Death Sentence fights.
Oh, that's,
you know what I mean?
That's dope.
That's gonna be historic, bro.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Working with one of the GOATs, one of the legends.
Let me get his autograph. You know,
I got you, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
But in our reality, right? You know what I mean? This guy was able to change his whole life, right? Being with a promotion like this and going out, whatever, going viral and doing things. And like I said, bro, you could take this very far if you know how to, you know what I'm saying, manage your
100%.
Your brand and your content.
Bruce Leroy also came from, you know, fighting, you know, doing a little street fighting stuff, you know. So it could definitely happen. I see it happening. Also, everybody from Steet Beefs, there's you can see that a lot of those people do come from actual MMA. You know what I'm saying? Really do train. I think when it first started, you know, it was a little shaky, but they're getting their talent, you know.
Nah, they definitely doing
getting their talent up.
Right now. Yep.
But moving forward, Merab Darvishvili was given the Espy for Fighter of the Year.
Man, shout out to Merab, dog.
He was up against Kayla Harrison, Islam Makhachev, and Dracus Duplessis. Do you think they got it right?
I ain't gonna lie, them some hitters now. There's some hitters,
bro.
And DDP too was on that.
Conversation for another.
Kayla Harrison was on that.
Yeah, conversation for another day. What's my guy name? Ila Taporia. He wasn't on there because he only had one win in the time frame. His last win was in the window.
I got you.
But
he could have been out there for sure.
Conversation for another day, and you know we're gonna give Merab his flowers.
Nah, Merab definitely. Yeah.
But I don't know that there's been a better time for UFC talent as champions. If you look at current resume, these champions are clowning. Like Merab, what he's done to the division, what Islam has done to really everybody of 55, and if he moves up, what DDP, being all them world champs and being undefeated as a champion, it's kind of hard to say that this ain't some of the best the champions ever been. Maybe not name-wise, but if you look at resume, even more than Frankie Edgar and the GSPs, like it's up there.
Because even besides Kayla Harrison, but she's still outside of the UFC. But what DDP had to go through in order to get to the belt, right? What Merab had to go through just to get to the belt, and even Islam, right? Bro. Like so, first off they had to wipe out everybody first, and now they still. You know what I'm saying? Demolishing these guys.
Even thinking about
holding the title.
We'll save this for a whole nother day. But even like you, JDM, your last 3 or 4 welterweight champions, they cleared divisions. We had Usman on, like a 9-fight or whatever win streak, undefeated when he became champ. Then you had Leon Edwards, who won 10 straight or whatever. Then Bilal, who won a bunch of fights straight, 8 straight or something crazy. Yeah. So just the level of talent what it takes to be a champion today, I feel like is higher than.
It definitely is.
But back to Merab,
I think he won that off the strength of schedule. For sure. But then also, bro, promoting the fight.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing his job, man, to make people want to watch, make people want to tune in. You know what I'm saying? Going out there, getting busy with the fans, like all that shit, boy. Like,
also, he beat like you out, but just him beating everybody. Like aside from Aljo, who don't fight there, and that's his man. It's like I don't know who is he supposed to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have obviously Corey Sandhagen, but I'm saying
that's coming up next. But yeah,
but
still.
you have Merab, who has beat a lot of great talent, and then finishing Sean O'Malley, and just Aldo and all those guys that he beat. It's like he's just been on the tear.
Oh, that is a great question, bro. Like, if he's able to get through Corey, I'm not saying if, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's a real debate, whatever. But still, you know what I'm saying, I ain't trying to be picking and choosing like that. He get through Corey Sandhagen, bro. Who really next for Merab?
There's one person I can't think of it off the top of my head. There's one person I want him to fight, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he's beat a lot of the guys, man.
I'm thinking like everybody gone. He didn't got rid of everybody for real. So.
Beat Jan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Look it up real quick. But no, like a lot of guys, man. Merab, what he's done in them championship fights, it looks like he's not gonna lose. So that's the thing. And just how dominant he's been. Being Umar, who everybody thought Umar would be somebody to give him a ton of trouble, and him passing that with flying colors. Merab had a hell of a year.
Is Tapology pretty legit?
It can be here. Like I got you. I can find it right here. I'm already actually on it right now. So you got Sean O'Malley, who's number one. You have Umar. He beat them. He beat Piotr Jan. Damn, he really did beat everybody. The only people he ain't beat is you got Song Yadong, but obviously he's not really.
But where's Song Yadong get? Just curious.
He number 5, but that fight makes no sense though.
Why wouldn't it?
Song Yadong has come off I think one win against Henry Cejudo. He lost to Corey Sandhagen before.
No.
But I'm just saying, like, and then Davison Figueroa just lost to Corey Sandhagen.
Right.
Then you got Chito Vera. That fight obviously makes no sense.
Nah, that fight don't
Batista kind of get himself there.
Be the only nigga.
Yeah, so it's like somebody got to win. You know what I mean? But anyway, Rob just had one of them years, and I think if it wasn't him, it'd have to be DDP. But I give it, to Merab for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, great time. For UFC champions, and Merab is, a champion amongst champions, So shout out to Merab for winning Fighter of the Year. And then you have, going forward, excuse me, did you see what happened with Ben Askren, him having that double lung transplant?
Yeah, man. God be the glory, man. Definitely, to be able to survive that, right? And to be able to, have this situation where you are blessed to, get this transplant and things go well, right? And things go the right way. But my man said he died 4 times, bro. You know what I'm saying? Being in the hospital. So, definitely with a situation like that, bro, it's kind of, eye-opener, right? What could just happen, literally with just training, because what he had gotten staph and then it infected his lungs and everything of that nature. And that right there could happen to anybody.
Of course.
Right? So with a person like, Ben Askren, man, and this happening to an individual like this, I'm so, thankful just to hear that he okay, that he, that the surgery went successful and, pretty much, he, able to, carry on and live, continue to live his life, so that's all I can say with that one.
No, beautiful. And, there's oftentimes, we talk about fighter pay and things that the UFC doesn't do, but you have to give credit when people step up and do something that's awesome. Dana taking care of financially. Not really want to speak on it, but, that was a good thing for them to do. Ben wasn't with the UFC for all of that long, too, if you think about it. He had a pretty short stint in the UFC, so for them to do that, I thought that was pretty awesome.
It is.
So shout out to them. Shout out to the UFC for that.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. But what you say, like, the blessing that being able to have a situation where, yet again, you are so supported by a community, right? Whether it's the wrestling community, the combat community, and the UFC being such a big platform in itself, that's dope that, Dana was able to do something to that magnitude, man, to really help, Ben out. Because, what they talked about in the expense of that, lungs, wild,
Very expensive.
And, for, UFC just to be able to be like, hey, man, yeah, we got you, right? That is cool, man. Big shout out to them.
Yeah. So prayers for Ben Askren. Hope he makes a full recovery. It looks like things are going well. But right on the horizon, of course, UFC 318 is around the corner. It'll be happening this weekend. Man, first fight, you got Max Holloway fighting Dustin Poirier. What are your thoughts on that?
Max Holloway, man, look.
For the BMF title, too.
I heard you, man. I heard you.
My bad. Okay.
No, that shit. Be honest with you. Actually, no. I'm gonna be honest with this one. I like that this fight is happening. This is 2 wins for Dustin Poirier, right? You know
yes. One at 45, one at 55.
All right, bet. More likely he gonna win it again, and it's gonna end this whole BMF thing and title. And you know what I mean? The BMF can get to retire with Dustin Poirier, and he go off with a win in his hometown, in Louisville. So that, man, dope, man. Why not? But at the end of the day, it's just like, I feel like this matchup that's being made is yet again just for the pools, just for the numbers, which is it's all cool, Let the numbers go up. But yet again, I think the BMF title, I think it needs to end, and I think it's gonna end with Dustin Poirier.
Well, you actually spoke to a lot of what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask, do you care? Because me personally, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give it all the way up on this one. I don't care. I'm not going to lie. Dustin Poirier having his retirement fight, I do care. But this particular fight makes no sense. I'm not bashing the UFC. I get it. Dustin Poirier wants to go out fighting a name and fighting somebody with something to gain. I think he's earned that right. That doesn't mean I have to care or like the particular matchup for a headliner. You have Max Holloway, who has lost to Dustin Poirier, as you mentioned, 2 times. One's at 45. We saw them fight at 155. It wasn't all of that competitive. Even if Max somehow wins, I still don't really care because it does nothing for the division. I think this fight is an awkward placement. I think it's going to be a great fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch it. But for this to be the headliner, like for a BMF title, I'm a little done with BMF belts as well.
Man.
It's just,
so,
it was cool for like the first time. I really didn't like it then. I'm not even going to lie to you. But it's just like kind of whatever. But I think Dustin, if anybody deserves it, Dustin deserves it. So for me to try to give like a breakdown, in trilogy fights, usually one person has won before, or both people have won before. It's usually called like a rubber match. Yeah. But we have some, it's not the first. This is not the first time in MMA, but it's like usually the person is, loses all 3 times. So I would be surprised if Max Holloway gets it done. But then again, the way he did Justin Gaethje, who knows? But if I was a betting person, which we can't bet on it, I put my money on Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, man. But like I said, I think this is just a good ending to the BMF because once Dustin Poirier get it done, you know what I'm saying? Like who we gonna defend that belt against after he retire? You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't just gonna toss that belt up. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think they just let it go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think, that's the only way it go. You know.
So, but okay. So we both picked Dustin to win this fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got that out the way. Mm-hmm. But what does this really do for both people?
Money, bro. To get paid. That's what it do for both them niggas. I can't count nobody's pockets, but I know Max Holloway gonna be straight, and I know DP definitely. So yeah.
Well, I don't want to misquote. Because I don't know if he said this, but I read somewhere. I thought Max was like, if he beats Dustin, give him a title shot. He wants a title shot at 155, which I feel like that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Like, I don't think that makes sense at all. And then, to Poirier, he's the 55 champ, right?
Yeah.
You just got spun by him. Like, it don't make no type of sense at all.
Nah.
So, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. That's why I don't like these type of fights, because when you fight in these big, major fights, you do want large ramifications afterwards. Positive stakes coming from it. Big things happening. But it's like it's undeserving.
Right. And before even Max,
no disrespect to Max. Max is
but I think Dustin said the same thing. He said he wanted to change his mind with the Max Holloway easy win. And he was like, all right, let me go ahead and fight for that title against Poirier. He said the same thing. Yeah. UFC was like, nah, we ain't go. Because like you said, you got to work for that, though. You know what I'm saying?
It just doesn't make any sense.
Nah, I mean, because, it's one thing to have a name, but, like, you still got to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And it's not like, it's not like Conor McGregor, you just jump the line. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's
then the co-main event, you got, this is a dope fight. Paulo Costa taking on Roman Kopylov. How do you see that fight going?
Costa and that fight still going on?
Yeah,
I think you gotta Google that. I don't know if that fight still.
I mean, it's right here on the UFC 310.
Okay.
I mean,
give it another week.
He's saying 14 year for the full.
Give it another week, nigga, before we talk about that shit. I think that's a dope fight though.
A dope fight for context added, man. Costa, he's been going through a little bit of a slump, and I'm not laughing in that. I'm just saying that, Costa was somebody who was like a perennial like top 5 guy, but I think he's 1-4 in his last 5. Kopylov, has been on a tear. Out of his last 5, I think he's 4 out of 5 and 4 wins, one loss. So, who do you think wins that fight? How do you see the fight kind of playing out? Realistically, if it does happen.
Like I said, I think it's a fun fight. Costa, even though he got the background in grappling, he don't use that. He don't ever use it. So I can see him definitely, throwing power shots, stand on the feet, right? Actually, low key, Costa got some decent kicks on his ass,
He does.
But I could definitely see a striking bout between both of these dudes. But Kopylov and the way he throw his kicks, bro, just a little bit different, man. And the speed that comes behind those kicks are beautiful. But I don't know, bro. I really see a very competitive fight, and depending on who was able to land their shots more frequently and precise, right? Which Costa might not be a precise striker, but nigga, he lands one of them things, right, and can get you up out of there. So it just really is a toss up, to me, depending on who come out and land their shots. So that's it for real.
No, I agree. I think this is a good matchmaking. I think Costa is ranked 13th and Kopylov number 14. So it's like, kind of a good fight for Kopylov to have and Costa to have. You being a guy coming off a lot of steam and a bunch of wins, and then Costa to the name Paulo Costa, right? So it's like, for me, I think that if this is a striking affair, I give a large advantage to Roman Kopylov. He just seems to be more fluid, quick, better distance management, but as you said before, Costa has that one-hitter quarter knockout power, powerful kicks, obviously a lot of power. I just don't see how Costa can get it done. I think there's a 3-inch discrepancy in reach advantage. So if it's a striking fight, it's not a full mixed martial arts contest where Costa's mixing in takedowns and trying to use a little jiu-jitsu. Most people haven't been able to beat Roman Kopylov at that style. So I'm going to give the edge to Roman Kopylov because I think it's going to be a striking fight.
I'll give you that.
Next fight... we got Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. Kevin Holland being ranked number 14. D-Rod is unranked. I don't think this fight really makes a lot of sense. But,
fight was supposed to happen about 3 years ago.
Yeah. I think
they had
3...
that little flip up.
That's what I'm saying. 3 years ago, this would have been a pretty dope fight. Today, I don't know if I care as much. But how do you see this fight going?
I mean, shit. D-Rod won his last fight. I can't remember. I mean, regardless, man, I think it'd be a fun fight for the fans to watch. This should be a good dub for Kevin Holland, to be honest.
He beat Ponzinibbio.
Okay. Knocked him out. I think
it was that fight. No, he knocked him out. It was when Ponzinibbio was complaining about the stoppage.
Remember? No, that was Kevin Holland. He did that with.
No,
unless that's a regular thing. He knocked him out clean.
Yeah, real
and
bad.
He got back up and he was like, "Yeah, never mind." Okay,
what's wrong with you?
All right, let me stop playing. Okay. I like that. With Kevin Holland and Rodriguez, I think that fight should be very interesting on the feet. And, I feel like as long as neither guy is kind of waiting too long, because even Kev has a ability to do that. D-Rod has a habit of doing that, it should be fun to watch, But if both guys are on the outside, trying to figure out that perfect shot or, literally, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just wasting time, then it's just going to be, just a toss-up fight, So it's about activity. It's about both guys, want to go out there, put on a good finish, man. Go out there, put on a dominant performance. But I see Kevin Holland getting his hand raised at the end of the day.
I agree. I think Kevin Holland gets it done from two strikers who are kind of awkward, like not the most traditionally technically sound. They throw punches kind of from awkward angles and, just kind of random, right?
Yeah,
Both of them are a little random with their striking. Like you wouldn't see a kickboxing instructor say this is how you would want to, would want to strike, rather. You know what I'm saying? So I think Kevin is just better at that awkward style. He has a lot of power. He's obviously has a long reach. And I just think that Kevin Holland has faced, a lot stiffer competition successfully than D-Rod. I can see Kevin Holland get a finish in this one. Maybe a sub or, TKO or something like that. So my pick is Kevin Holland as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then you got Dan Ige. He's ranked 12th. He's fighting Patricio Pitbull.
Okay, that's a fun fight. That's a fun fight.
Much better fight, in my opinion, for Pitbull. Is a hell of a fighter, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, he gonna give him what you want.
Exactly. kind of a stylistic matchup that I think is a lot friendlier for him than Yari Rodriguez. But how do you see this fight going?
This is gonna be a fun one for sure because both guys is not gonna step back. Both guys are gonna move forward. Both guys are gonna take the center, and both guys gonna throw. You know, now Pitbull, right, doing what he do. He can add the grappling in there. He can, add the shots. But Dan Ige, I don't think he no scrub. On the ground
he's
at all. So I think he gonna have good, defensive grappling in that fight. But the thing is, though, right, and it's a 3-rounder, obviously, but the cardio, right, of Dan Ige sometimes, it don't seem like it favors him a lot. It seems like he gets tired,
Ige?
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. The reason why I say that is because, even with the finish that he had with our boy Sean Woodson, right? He did catch him, but I feel like he was slowing down in that fight, as they was fighting. And Dan Ige sometimes, in my personal opinion, even if he's in shape, not able to keep up with that high volume that he did in the first round into the third round, So with that being said, I think that's what, Pitbull is going to be looking for, using the grappling, right, going up and down, using the striking, right, to kind of slow Dan Ige down, where then he can land, some good explosive combinations.
So you taking Pitbull?
I ain't. It's not that I'm taking nobody. Like, I get what you're saying, but I don't be, because I be meeting these niggas. You know what I'm saying? These niggas be looking at me side out. So you had that nigga picked up. Like, nigga ain't like that, bro.
It's a personal. People want to hear predictions. We give them.
But no, be honest with you, because Dan Ige is called 50K for a reason, right? And with not Patricio, because that's the nigga brother name.
Yeah, Patricio.
Patricio, thank you. He still has a good opportunity, man, to knock Buddy out. So, yet again, this is a toss-up, but if it was to go anywhere, I think I see a decision. I don't see a finish in the fight, though. Funny enough, I don't see a finish in the fight. I see a good competitive fight, with Pitbull getting his hand raised.
Yeah, a lot of what you said, I think both of these guys are very well-rounded. I don't really remember Ige really having problems with cardio, but I have to go back and watch. But I think, obviously, MMA is just kind of a younger man's game. I think that these guys actually are very similar. Maybe Pitbull a little bit more jiu-jitsu heavy with his grappling. But I just think that both of them are very well-rounded. I think maybe in a younger day, I might favor Patricio Pitbull, but just at the stage of his career, I'm going to take Dan Ige. Then the last fight on the main card is Michael Johnson fighting Daniel Zellhuber.
I don't know that last name.
He's 3-2 in the UFC. He's had some good performances. I think he's might be coming off a loss. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you don't know who this.
I know my nigga MJ though.
But
shout out to him, St. Louis.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a good fight. I think both will bring a lot of activity, and I don't think Michael Johnson's ever been in a boring fight. I can't think of one fight. He's one of those guys that kill or be killed, and he always comes out there trying to swing. And I know Zellhuber is gonna try to do the same thing. So I usually don't like to pick people at the stage of career Michael Johnson, but he looked really good in his last fight. I would say Michael Johnson can turn back the hands of time again and get another classic knockout. I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson.
Shout out to my man, St. Louis, baby.
All right. There's actually some good prelims on this card. We could just go through quick on them. Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. How you see? Any pick on that one? I would take Vinicius Oliveira. And then we got your boy Brendan Allen fighting Marvin Vettori. Who you lean towards on that one?
Marvin Vettori and
Brendan Allen.
That's a fun fight at the end of the day. Them niggas be getting busy at the, at the Marriott, wherever they was at, and at the casinos going crazy. So yeah, man, I'm interested to see how that fight go between both of those guys, man. I want to say lock up in that cage. But I can see Brandon Allen, pulling that win out. He needed to, I think. I think had a couple of losses thus far.
I think Vettori needed worse. Let me look it up. Actually,
I thought Vettori just won one of his little bouts.
Who Vettori beat?
That's a good question.
Nah, he coming off 2 losses.
2 losses against who?
Roma Delise and then
yeah, Roma Delise did get him.
Jared Cannonier.
Okay. Ooh, damn. Like, that was a while back, nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga fight once a year, huh?
Marvin been going for a little minute. You know?
Yeah.
But Brandon, I think
Brandon Allen stay active, though. That's why, I feel like some of them things.
he lost to Fluffy last time.
Yeah.
And Nasruddin, but those are two really good.
No,
you
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like recent guys really kind of crushing it. So,
Mhm.
but I take Brandon Allen. I think he just has a little more ways to win.
Yeah.
But Victoria with that power, I think sometimes Brandon Allen does have a hard time with guys who are so powerful.
Low key though, who Marvin knocked out, bruh?
That's a good point.
I'm trying to like really think about nigga power, nigga. Who the fuck this nigga done knocked out, bruh? I'm really trying to think about that shit. But no, Brandon Allen, like you said before, he just got more ways to win, and he can strike with Marvin if he want to. But then obviously that real thing that he can do with Marvin, you know what I'm saying? If he could take his back, shit, it's probably over, because I mean Brandon Allen then submitted some of the best guys, who got good jiu-jitsu, man, who got black belts. So yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's a cool card. You had Jimmy Crute fighting on the prelims. Ryan Spann.
You had to put that nigga out there like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Who?
Jimmy Crute.
Oh, I'm saying some names.
Yeah, had to put that nigga out there like that. You could just say that nigga was fighting, bro.
No. I'm saying like it's a decent card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. When this shit was announced, I was like, it's kind of whack. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was kind of, I saw even people online saying it's one of the worst cards.
I feel like I think they been saying that for a minute, depending on the card. But then you always get these cards that be, end up being
I guess my point is, who cares about the matchmaking if, like from an optic standpoint, if the fights are good, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like it might not be what you wanted, but if it's a good fight, it's a good fight. So you got your boy Jackson fighting. Damn, he fighting Bruno Ferreira. That's an interesting fight.
Okay. Jackson who?
McVeigh.
Okay.
From St. Charles and MMA.
Okay.
He fighting Bruno Ferreira.
Yeah. Okay. Is that he already got booked now?
Yeah, because his fight got canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled.
Yeah, but that's an interesting fight. And damn. Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited to just get this BMF shit over. We'll see where the chips fall, and then unclutter that division. But yeah, I think that's really all we got for this week.
Okay, then shoot, bro. Love it. Let's get it.
All right. Thank you for watching another episode of Brick Brothers Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe. Be a brick.